Yo, what's up, bro? How you doing?
I'm good, bro. I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing amazing. Thanks for doing this today with me.
No problem, bro.
Yeah, bro. So could you like briefly introduce yourself if someone doesn't know you and who you are, what you do, all the good stuff?
Yeah, so I'm Marcel. We have an e-learning company. We have a B2C side and a B2B side where we help coaches, consultants, entrepreneurs scale their offers and their personal brands. And then we also have a B2C side where we train sales reps and we teach people content as well.
All right. And yeah, in this video, I kind of just want to go over like the transformation that we had, while working with each other, because it was amazing to witness that. So when we started working, right, like take me back like a week before we actually met and started working. How was your business, where you were at, and all the good stuff?
Yeah, so before we started working together, I was just working with kind of different editors here and there, trying to get good quality edits done. It was mainly like based off an editing thing how we came to meet because I needed like help with that. And then I was just struggling to make good content, make it look how I wanted it to look, and then actually like convert and grow my account. So pretty much like struggling with everything across the board. And then we connected because I literally just saw the edits that you were doing at the time, and I was like, I like these are cool. So I knew they were going to be high quality, and then we started working together, and that was kind of how it all started.
All right. So the biggest problem there was like the amount of leads that you were getting, right?
Yeah, correct. The views, the leads, and just like the overall style and look of the content.
Okay. And back then, like your account was at what, like 20,000 followers, something like that?
Yeah, I think like between 10 to 20k.
Okay. And financially, like you were making what?
I think probably around the same between like 10 to 30k. Maybe I think the biggest month that I'd had at that time was 50k, but it was probably around like 10 to 30k at the time we started working together.
And I think you mentioned on the first call that you were kind of like stuck in the range of like 10 to 20, or like 15 to 30, like for some time, right?
Yeah, correct. Yeah, kind of stagnant with the content and then also stagnant with like the conversions as well on the back end.
All right. And when we started working, right? Like how was the first month? What happened there?
Yeah, so then we started working together, and it might have taken like a week or two for us to dial in our style, and then once we started doing that, it started converting, and we would like pretty much saw like an increase in the views quite quickly, and then I think the first month we went from like probably 10k impressions to 100,000 impressions to like I think a million. Like we did like a million views in our first month working together, and then the income started to scale as well. But the first month we saw like good growth with the account, good growth with the content and with the interactions and stuff overall. And then and then we started to see that convert a bit higher as well. I don't know if it was the first month or second month that we worked together, but then that was kind of towards the end of last year we hit that 80k month, which was my biggest month yet.
Oh, yeah, that was crazy to see. And so yeah, and we did that basically being at around, I would say, like 25,000 followers when you did hit the 80k mark, right?
Yeah, we started doing, I guess, converting more before we even grew the account, right? So we actually did 80k in a month, and then a couple months, I think it was like a month or two after that, then we actually started scaling the brand as well, and then we went from like probably 15k to 80k in a month, and then we also after that we went from like 30k followers to like 100k followers, and we had like that one video do 3 million views, like 100,000 comments plus, like it was crazy.
Yeah, 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 that was crazy. And so 25,000 followers, so that's probably really valuable for people to hear, right? 25,000 followers, and you did $80,000 in a month with that. And then, so it was a lot basically, probably also on the back end, right, to change. So that there was like just quick tweaks that we could do to change things and turn things basically overnight, right, to see that. And then you had this goal that you told me on the first call, right, to hit the 100k followers. And we actually did that like month or two later, right? So how that felt?
Yeah, I mean, it took it took a couple of weeks, like I said, to dial in the content. But once we did that, then we started to like see what was working, and I remember we were testing things for like probably a month or two. We were just testing different styles, seeing what worked, kind of tweaking the editing, tweaking the topics, and then we just found something that worked for us and doubled down on that. And then yeah, it started to blow up. We started just getting way more views on every video, and then we started scaling the account. And then obviously there was a bit of a teething phase where we were trying to like take all that traffic and then actually convert it. So then we worked on that as well. But yeah, it was crazy to see like just the growth with the business, and then also the growth with the account and the content as well.
Yeah, that was cool. That was cool. And based on like how your life like looks like right now compared to what it looked then, did it change anything, or is it like day to day looks the same?
Yeah, the day to day looks the same, to be honest. I'm still just like locked at my desk, but the main thing is just like we got the freedom to kind of go do whatever we want, you know. But even back then, like even when we started to work together, I was like already like I had the freedom, I had the lifestyle. But yeah, same goes where it's just like in front of the computer, trying to make good content and then trying to convert that into cash, which is what we kind of spent the majority of our time trying to do.
Hmm. And when it comes to the followers, did you like see? Because I actually got personally like reach out many times to do you work with Marcel, stuff like that. And personally, do you see the difference between like you being kind of like low key famous to be honest at this stage?
Yeah, I think what it is like when you have a certain quality with your content, you give yourself that social proof and you give yourself that credibility. So then people start to like look at you as more of an authority in the space because your stuff is high quality, and you can definitely scale without stuff being super high quality. But when it does look professional and it does look well done, then people kind of respect you a bit more. So yeah, we definitely saw like built really good like reputation, I guess, in that sense as well.
Yeah, so I guess the question now is like, where do you envision yourself and your business and all the stuff in like 6 to 12 months, right? Because you're at this stage when you really need to, I think, decide like where do you want to take this, like, right? Like it's not like right now about like scraping by, right? But it's actually about like building something really great that would probably last.
Yeah, 100%. So we've kind of like shifted a little bit on what we're working on in the back end now, trying to work with more like established creators and stuff. So the goal is to scale that to 100K a month and then eventually 100K a week, and keep growing the personal brand to, a million and more. But like these are all our secondary goals to obviously focusing on the input, trying to literally just make the best content on the internet and then trying to actually help as many people as possible.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, crazy to think when we started working, where were you at and where you at right now. It's like really cool to see all of that growth.
100%, but yeah, we came a long way, and I guess it was a fun process, and yeah, I'm excited to continue building it all.
Yeah, man. And what would you say? Like we've talked a lot about like me and you, our relationship. But when it comes to my team, right? How was the experience with that?
Yeah, it was good, bro. Like I think I remember telling you, but I think the biggest thing that I was struggling with before was just like turnaround times and like communication and how long it would take. You'd send away like 3 reels and you wouldn't get them to 3 days later, and then you need to do the revisions and then they take time. Whereas I think the best thing, bro, is just the communication, how quickly everything gets done, and then how quickly you can kind of start to do the revisions. And if you need something done, it gets done. And just that was like the biggest thing that you kind of addressed and made sure we had dialed in was the speed of implementation and obviously the communication as well. So it was really good.
Yeah, yeah. And also I really appreciated that actually they were really quick, because there were like two times, you mentioned one time when we did like actually a lot of changes, right? It was when we kind of wanted to hit that 100K goal. Like it was a big change when it comes to content, all the stuff.
Mm.
And like it actually came out really great. Like in the week we were basically like running out of like completely different style, and all the inputs were totally different.
Yeah, and that's another really good thing, bro. It was just like the flexibility. It's like if we needed to shift the style, we could completely shift the style. If we needed to do long form, we could do long form. If we needed help with other stuff, we could do it. So it's like doesn't necessarily even matter what we needed. It would just be like, yo, can you do this? And it was always like, yeah. So that was really really helpful.
Yeah. And what was there was like I think one moment when like I believe that was back in somewhere like December, I would say, when there was when we are doing this all the like say like turnaround with the content, right? And like you mentioned to us that basically when we did that, like 3 days later, we were starting to see like crazy results when it comes to the views, engagement, and all of that. And it was like we were just testing like this new style, and we kind of like hit the hit the goal straight away, and we just went through it. So yeah, I remember that was like a really big, like for me even like eye opening moment when like things went so quickly just when we really like dialed in and were in the trenches with that.
100%. Yeah, it was just a matter of like testing different things, and then once you find that thing that works, just like executing on that as best as possible. And I think that's what we did. We just found the thing that worked and just executed on it, like, and just figured out how we could keep making it better and better. And then obviously you came in and helped with like the volume as well. Like I remember I was like trying to keep coming up with ideas, and then you were just like, boom, here's like 3 ideas a day, so that we could just keep the volume up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. And what was the thing that you didn't expect before working with me, that with us in general, that you were like positively surprised when you actually started working?
Yeah, like I said, I think probably the turnaround time was like the most important thing, and the flexibility, but then also just like just getting results, like just actually scaling as quickly as we did, getting like the reach that we did, were probably like the biggest things for me.
Okay. And yeah, so that's good. Good to hear that. And if someone is watching this right now, right, and is on the face of working with me and my team, what would you tell them?
I would just say, like, if you want someone that can make stuff happen, make it happen quickly, and you want someone who's got good communication, and if that's kind of what you've been lacking with the previous editors and stuff, then I would pull the trigger and I'd get started, because that was the main thing for me, and that's why I kind of worked with you up until now, is just because like that's what I was looking for, and that's what you can provide. So
Yeah, man. So yeah, thanks for that. Thanks for talking with me today. And yeah, I just want to close that, like work with you so far was like just incredible, right? Like I just the growth that we saw and the relationship that we built along the way is just something that I think is really like priceless, and the journey was just beautiful. So yeah, thanks for tuning in today, and yeah, just excited to see what will be coming up in the coming months and years with you.
100%, bro. Likewise, I'm excited to see how everything goes for you as well. Let's smash it.
Yeah. Okay, take care. Bye bye.
Thank you, bro.